Dolly Friends. I'm Dr. Doll and welcome to another video. It's been kind of a rough week. I know you guys haven't seen me in such a long time and I'm so sorry about that. I've just been crazy busy and I have started a lot of videos that just haven't gotten finished for one reason or another. But I don't know, I'm kind of it's been a rough week. I just kind of need some doll therapy right now. So I thought we would do just a little shopping video together before I go into work. So I'm at this antique mall and I want to show you. So this is a new-ish antique mall over by where I live. It's called Glenwood Antique Mall. And the funny thing is, this sign here is, I think it came from an old theater, Glenwood Theater, that used to be on this street. And so I think that that's an old theater sign that they just reused. So I have been in this antique mall before and I have actually bought dolls here before. I'm just in the mood to buy a doll. You guys know. You guys are dolly people, you know, sometimes you just need to buy a doll. So I'm here, I'm gonna look for a doll. They don't have a ton of dolls. This particular antique mall is, I would describe it as a more upscale kind of antique mall. They definitely have a lot of interior design, clientele that come in and they want to buy specific pieces for houses or decorations. So it's a little bit more upscale, but there are a few booths that typically do have vintage antique dolls, and so I'm very interested to go in and see what's in there today. So walking up to the entrance, you can see there's a lot of pretty stained glass windows on display. So they sell a lot of older pieces, curated pieces for people to display in their houses. It's just a really, really nice antique mall. Going in. Okay, so I did see this vintage Samantha Parkington for $85, and honestly it was in really good shape, so a pretty decent deal for someone who's looking for a Samantha. That's one thing I love about coming to stores like this, is you just never know what you're gonna find. If you are ever looking for some clothes for a vintage doll, I highly recommend coming to an antique store and looking at booths that specialize in vintage baby clothing. You always find the cutest things here. I just love looking through vintage small children's clothing or babies clothing. Just look at these nightgowns. How cute are some of these? And there's a little romper here that, oh my goodness, can you imagine that on a little doll? Oh, adorable. This was an interesting booth. She had just a few dolls here. The one in front here was, I believe, a horseman from the 60s, and it was a plastic body with a rubber face. Very interesting. And then there was an older mama style comp doll here. And there was actually a Chatty Cathy in the back, which I examined, and unfortunately voice box and string was broken, which is pretty typical. Not a lot of them are, still intact. This was a beautiful comp doll. Her eyes had crystallized, but just a beautiful structure and form, and she was 60, but just a really sweet little face. These little snowmen were so cute, and only $2.50. Really don't need any more Christmas decor though. This was an interesting booth. You put your phone, and he used instruments to make it a speaker. I don't know, it was interesting. And the whole store just kind of looks like this, just very regal and very architectural. Really pretty. Finally, I came to this booth, and this booth had tons of dolls. There's a beautiful bisque doll there, and just shelves and shelves of vintage and antique dolls. I could have spent all day looking at each one of them. There was just so many. This is one that I almost considered buying. It was only $28, sort of a Shirley Temple-esque old comp doll. The eyes were in good working condition. The paint seemed to be pretty good overall, and hair was still intact. The only problem was the paint was peeling off on one of her legs, so I would have had to have removed all the paint to restore her, and it's just a ton of work, and I already have several dolls like that I haven't finished yet, so I ended up setting her back down. And then there was this beautiful, I think they're called Bilo babies, but that one was $150, so just couldn't afford it. This was it was an ideal doll from the 60s, really interesting. So built like a comp doll, like the same mold, but actually plastic. Considered all of these, but I ended up falling in love with this little girly. So this is a really sweet, just unmarked comp baby doll, and the outfit really got my attention. Someone made this sweet little knitted cardigan and matching bonnet for her. She's in pretty decent shape, paint is in decent shape, just that little nick on her foot, and I think she'll be an easy cleanup project. And look at her, I mean, she's just so cute. Hey! So they wrapped her up nicely in a little baggie. Here she is. Isn't she so precious? Oh my goodness. I'm so in love with her. And really it's the outfit that just got me, this adorable little cardigan, knitted cardigan with matching bonnet, and then her little diaper. How cute is that? I don't know what it is about comp baby dolls, but they are my kryptonite. I just think they're the cutest little things. They're just so squishy and cute. I don't know, they capture that chubby baby look in a way that I think plastic just doesn't. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a me thing. Also, the guy at the register, I could tell that he wasn't a doll person, because I handed it to him and he acted like he just didn't want to touch it. He's just like it creeped him out, which I think is it's such a shame, that so many people think dolls are creepy. I'm sure the amount of like doll horror films that have been out in the last decade or so hasn't helped. Also, just the amount of haunted dolls that people try and sell this time of year. I don't know. That's a whole different video, but like just the amount of dolls that people claim are haunted that they try to sell for ridiculous amounts online, it just upsets me. Like, there'll be a perfectly beautiful like antique doll and someone's charging an exorbitant amount for it, claiming that it's haunted, and I'm sure it isn't haunted. I'm sure it's just an old doll, but it's like perpetuating this idea that dolls are creepy, and I'm not all about that. So instant boost of serotonin. So happy that I found a dolly that I connected with. It's been a long time since I've been to this antique mall, but I'm really, it would just like, I don't know, it just gave me that boost I needed. I know a lot of people think that antique malls are kind of like creepy, but for me, I don't know, they feel cozy, they feel like relaxing, and I don't know, I've always loved, like, since I was 5, I've loved antique stores, so I guess I'm an old soul. But I hope you enjoyed going on this little shopping trip with me. I need to think of a name for her. She's so cute. And she doesn't really need a lot of work. Like, her stringing is, I think someone recently restrung her. Her limbs are all tight. She does need some fresh paint. So, easy little restoration project. I may film it, but I'm just happy. I feel better. It's like it heals my inner child to go doll shopping. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with me, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.